Alright, hello everyone, and this is Kenzie Wonderdrift broadcasting some Echo League Season 3 action. It's game number 3 in the Southeast Asian region, particularly Group A. We have Kor Koncept versus Xiong+4, and remember, this is a best of 5 series, and Xiong+4 with the momentum. They already had a 2-0 victory over their rival Kor Koncept. So the real question is, can Kor Koncept keep their hopes alive to win the championship? Or will they be swept aside in the tidal wave? We don't know. Hopefully the latter does not happen for Kor Koncept. Introducing the players for Kor Koncept: Moonlater, Alexa Bliss, who Kid Nemesis and Easy G for Xiong+4. We have Justice, Mirai, Jet+6, and Blaze. Alright, so let's see what happens. For the side of Xiong+4, if you look at their composition, a lot of AoEs here with a Warlock and Venomancer and some space creation from the Tusk, so they got some control. And then they have some team play option with the Brewmaster, so a lot of team play options for Xiong+4. And Kor Koncept, yeah, they got an individual pick-off roster with the Vengeful Bane and the Static Link with the Razor. So we might expect Kor Koncept to go very aggressive early in the game. Well, they have to be aggressive. I mean, if you look at it, they tried to be aggressive in game number 2, but apparently the plan does not work out, and they're going to go for the Pudge. So this could be this could be a mid lane Pudge like we've seen in game number 2, although we rarely see a mid lane Pudge in the recent current meta. Well, I have a feeling though that if you look at the composition for Kor Koncept, yeah, it's really meant for individually picking off targets, but with the way Xiong+4 have been timing their abilities, it's not going to be easy for Kor Koncept how to deal with this. Alright, so we're going to wait for the final pick for Xiong+4, and let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for Tinker. We could see a Venomancer carry, although normally Venomancer is deployed at the position 2. But we know that Xiong+4's signature hero would be the Tinker, so I'm not going to be surprised if they're going to pick Tinker as their last pick. I have yet to see Xiong+4 go for a Tinker in this game. I mean, they should be commended by the fact that they have not yet unleashed one of their devastating heroes in this game. And Omni Knight is also another signature hero for Xiong+4, but it got banned because Kor Koncept are aware that the sustain is actually helping Xiong+4 in team fights. So if you're a Kor Koncept, yeah, you did the right job, which is to ban the Omni Knight to make sure that 6's options are limited. And this could be some sort of potential comeback that you desperately need if you're Kor Koncept. So we're going to wait for the final ban for Kor Koncept. Final pick, let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if they banned a Tinker if they read the scouting reports. But I don't think they're going to ban it as well, depending on if they've really read the scouting reports. I mean, the Tinker does complement the Warlock and the Venomancer in terms of burst damage. I mean, yeah, Xiong is either missing a hard carry or they could be missing a mid laner. Viper could also be banned as well because that's like double damage in terms of poison assaults because you got the Venomancer. Or maybe they might go for ban for Necro, because Necro is another alternative for an Omni Knight in terms of sustain, although Necro is more like a self-sustain, while as if you look at Omni Knight, he's more like a team sustain. So we're going to wait for the final pick for Kor Koncept in this best of 5 series. Okay, so you look at the composition, they could individually pick off lineups. I was thinking they're going to go for Medusa, but Medusa got banned. Because, you know, they could really start plays with the Medusa, as well as the Disruptor combination. Actually, we see a lot of Medusa Disruptor combinations, but obviously both heroes are banned in Xiong+4's favor. Okay, so as you can see, Kor Koncept are very cautious. They don't have reserve time. So this decision is either going to make or break them. I was thinking, what other heroes can Kor Koncept do? They definitely need a mid laner, unless if they want to execute Pudge at mid. Or they could go for a potential hard carry here, as right now it's going to be the Weaver. So we're going to see a carry Weaver, or it could be an off-lane Weaver for the case of Kor Koncept. And Xiong+4, wow, Justice is going for Sand King. Justice in game 1 was a mid laner, in game 2 a hard carry. Now he's going to go for like, this could be an off-lane. This could be an off-lane, or going to go for a position 4. So you see the fluidity on the side of Xiong+4 is really eminent in this matchup against Kor Koncept. And then you can see here, you look at Alexa Bliss going back to the hard carry role with the Razor. So Blaze is going to go for the Tusk. It's one of, Blaze is really good in terms of rotating around the map together with his partner in crime, Mirai. Okay, so Jetlow's going to be the Venomancer at this moment. So in this sort of situation, well, in game number 1, I predicted Kor Koncept to win. Apparently, it didn't happen. Same goes with game number 2. Although Kor Koncept had a weird lineup in game number 2, didn't happen. Let's see in game number 3. Let's see. Personally, if you ask me, based on the timing, based on what I've seen in the previous 2 games, and based on the lineups that I've seen, I'm going with Xiong+4 with this one. I think they could sweep Kor Koncept alive. I mean, they got a lineup with some burst AoE damage. And given the fact that they could time their abilities well, whereas Kor Koncept have yet to find an identity, have yet to find a counter to this lineup, to some sort of barrage from Xiong+4. I'm saying it's going to go for Kor Koncept. It's going to be a sweep.
Prepare for battle.
Indeed, one last ride indeed, says for Kor Koncept. It's a do or die situation for them. It's game number 3. Their lives are on the line. So let's introduce the lineups here. We have here Nemesis as a Vengeful Spirit, Moonlater at Pudge. Then you got EZG. Yeah, EZG as Bane. And then Alexa Bliss as a Razor. You got Hookit as Weaver. For the side of Dire, for Xiong+4, you got Six as a Brew. You got Blaze as a Warlock. And that would make Justice as a Sand King, Mirai at Tusk, Jetlow at Venomancer. So given that this is a do or die situation for Kor Koncept, they have to make some amends after that horrendous game number 2. Game number 2 was an absolute nightmare for Kor Koncept.
30 seconds to battle.
I think in this sort of lineup for Kor Koncept, it's much more easy to execute in terms of abilities compared to game number 2. Game number 2, the execution was really difficult because they have a lot of heroes that need to be perfectly timed. But right now, I think what they need is that they need a perfect hook from the Pudge as well as a perfect swap from the Vengeful if they want to get some pickoffs. Because if you look at their lineup, it's really built for pickoffs. Although in game number 2, the Pudge was just like, let's say, his impact was hardly felt at all. And let's see if he could make some amends here. But so far, Kor Koncept, just look at this. The bounties are not even at their favor. So another rough start for Kor Koncept. Hopefully they can turn things around. We see Six here as a Brewmaster mid. Very rare to see a Brewmaster mid. And Moonlater going for Pudge mid. So 2 heroes, very unorthodox to go in the mid. Unless if you go back to the Dota 1 days when these 2 can play mid. But yeah, so it's a 6. It's 6 going to be Moonlater in the mid lane. Another unusual matchup situation. Justice here in the top lane against Hookit and Nemesis. So here Justice is going to go for the safe lane. I was expecting he's going to go in the off lane. Instead we have Jetlow, Mirai, and Blaze here in the off lane spot against Alexa Bliss and EZG. Yeah, I think this is a matchup where Xiong+4 would really be happy at. Because as much as possible, the poison damage is going to slow down Razor. Yeah, it's gonna slowly deplete his HP. Now, if he gets those wards, like these plague wards, it's gonna be helpful in pressuring the Razor. I mean, remember, Xiong+4 is very devastating in terms of early game pressure, and if they get the advantage early in the game, it's going to be a nightmare. We've seen that in game number 2 in this final series, so it could happen in this sort of approach. Kind of reminds me of Virtus Pro against VGJ Thunder when Ramses had an early game victory in the mid lane against against Yang, and after that it was really like Virtus Pro all the way. Okay, so right now there's a sleep there on Mirai. Mirai gets caught, and you can see Alexa Bliss trying to do some right clicks, but apparently not enough damage though. Still too early for Alexa Bliss to go offensive. But right now, Justice. Oh, this is not a good spot for Justice. Will he go down? His armor is already depleted, all thanks to the Vengeful Spirit. He does have a Burrow Strike to escape, but a clutch healing salve right in the nick of time. But right now, you can see here, Mirai, together with that poison damage from Jetl and the snowball activated. Look who's going to go down. EZG is going to get chased upon. Oh, that's a huge kill. Jetl getting a kill there on Alexa Bliss. EZG next on the list. And he doesn't die. That was a perfect time. Snowball catches Alexa Bliss off guard. Dies. EZG nearly dead in there. And right now, Jetl, like what I said, the poison damage is just really slowing Alexa Bliss down. Just look at that. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is really going to look like a sweep if this carries on. I mean, if you look at it, Xiong+4, you know, they learned from that game number 2 experience. Like, Kor Koncept going for an unorthodox strategy. They knew that with that unorthodox strategy, it's going to be that they could still look susceptible. Although, let's face it, Xiong+4 doesn't really seem to care if that unorthodox strategy made them look susceptible with that AoE damage. They just completely breezed apart. So first 2 games, my goodness, Xiong+4 just really dominant in this final series, just really wreaking havoc, all because of the execution, the timing that they possess. Game number 1, it was the timing of an Ancient Apparition Ice Blast in an Epicenter. Game number 2, early game pressure was really helpful. Let's see what the story is for game number 3. Will Xiong+4 continue their dominance, or will Kor Koncept make a furious comeback? But so far, with what I'm seeing with the Razor right now, it's looking like this could be a sweep. As right now, Jetl is going to get slowed down by the Razor. Let's see if the poison damage is there. Static Link is going to get a catch on Jetl, but apparently not enough. Oh dear, this is not good. He's going to get slowed down there. Mirai could be the follow-up option needed. Jetl trying to slow down Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss trying to run away. Oh dear, Blaze with a slowdown and EZG with a clutch nightmare as of the moment. But Jetl doesn't really seem to care, especially knowing that the poison damage could kill him. But Jetl goes down, but in return, Alexa Bliss goes down. And this is not, well, it's a good exchange, but you still lose the Razor. And Razor has died twice already. I mean, the last hits in the nice, if you look at it, 6 against Moonlader, it's pretty evenly matched. Although, let's face it, Moonlader is in a minor disadvantage because he doesn't have yet any denial. Justice in the top lane, he's actually having a pretty good time, even though he's up against a Weaver, a dual lane pressure from the Weaver and Nemesis. And remember, Weaver is very good at doing those right-click pressures. As right now, 6 Obes, look at that. Okay, there's the ultimate set. Moonlader not in a good spot. Nemesis trying to help his teammate there. Moonlader is trying to run away. He's calling help, but the help is not going to be sufficient. EZG trying to slow things down, but apparently it's not going to be sufficient yet, especially knowing that 6, boy, look at that. He could just have the aggressive mode online. It does go online. It pays dividends. That gives him space to go, and it forces Kor Koncept to rotate in the mid lane, which forces the Razor to go down. So Alexa Bliss 3 times in a row is dead. Yeah, it's gonna be this is looking like a wraparound early on, but obviously it's still early in the game. You can't really tell if it's really gonna carry on. Okay, so let's see what Xiong has to offer. Let's see as well what Kor Koncept is going to do as Jetl. He's going to go down, and that's going to be the sort of momentum need for Alexa Bliss. Well, of course, I mean, the fact that Moonlader is forced to rotate here in the bottom lane. Okay, this is not a good spot. I mean, yeah, I get the rotation, but you do want to keep Moonlader at the mid lane. I mean, as much as Pudge is really good at rotating in lanes and getting kills, but that's what I'm seeing with Kor Koncept right now. Like, they're so desperate to get kills since game number 2. And in my opinion, I think they should, you know, try to be patient and get all the necessary items before you try to get kills. I mean, yeah, getting a kill on Jetlo is big, but there are other important factors you have to consider. There, Burrow Strike there on Hook Kid. Hook Kid, let's see what he can do. Obviously, the right-click damage from the Weaver is very daunting to deal with. And add the Shikuchi as well, the Germinate attacks. Oh, there's another Burrow Strike on Hook Kid. And Hook Kid, will he run away? He's not level 6, so he doesn't have a time lapse to keep him alive. Now, Nemesis, if he gets spotted here, he's not in a good spot. He does get spotted. But no, they're not aiming at Nemesis. Instead, they're aiming at Alexa Bliss, getting caught there by the Ice Shard. And this is a good look. This is looking like a good strategy by Xiong. Xiong+4. I mean, you gotta contain the hard carry. Although you lose Jetlo in return, so if you're Xiong+4, like, that's the second time in a row that Xiong+4 is getting caught by these over-aggressive plays. As right now, let's see what 6. Okay, that's one thing you should be cautious when you're going against a Brewmaster. That ultimate is set. When he splits apart, he goes on the offensive. And Moonlater goes down for the second time in a row in the mid lane. Now who's next? It's EZG. Will he go on the offensive? Of course, he doesn't have some additional firepower. And 6, boy, he does have to live and be happy with that survival approach. And now Justice, who would end up going 1-on-1 with Hook Kid. Certainly the Shikuchi as well as those minions. The Scarabs are doing some damage, but no! No, no, no! We have Justice saying that is what I call a Gavel's Blast on your face. Yeah, I mean, it was looking like Justice was about to go down, but no, that Caustic Finale at level 3 is just really wrecking havoc. Yeah, the damage is doing a lot, but right now, look at this. This could be momentum. Blaze trying to heal himself, but no, he's not healing himself. He's actually damaging himself. Jetlo gets caught by the hook. This could be the momentum needed on the side of Kor Koncept. Now, Xiong+4 trying to run away with this. Jetlo, if he goes down, it could be a momentum booster. Let's see the net worth if it's really going to go. Oh, that's 2 down on the side of Xiong+4. They've already lost 3 in that assault. But still, if you look at it, the fact that 6 is doing a good job in the mid lane means that this is still not a good spot for Kor Koncept. Like, you let Xiong have the advantage in the mid lane. He gets 2 kills in the Pudge. He destroys the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. And when Moonlater was struggling, he rotated to the bottom lane, trying to get kills, trying to get momentum kills. But so far, it's not really worth it, if you ask me. And the same goes here in the top lane. Justice is just pushing through the top lane because everyone here on the side of Kor Koncept are pushing through the tier 1 tower here in the bottom lane. Yeah, I mean, the question is this really worth the time if you're Kor Koncept? You send 5 heroes early on, 9 minutes, you go on a 5-man push. I think they're gonna go the way, how do you say, I don't know what term you call this, but let's go for a basic term. Let's just say they're gonna go for a 5-man push to the end. Okay, they're gonna push around the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane because they know they could win the bottom lane. But knowing that Xiong+4 is very good at rotating around, it's not gonna work. As right now, look at that. EZG gets stunned upon. Oh, look at that. Right click damage as well. Now, let's see what he can do. EZG, can he run away? He's trying to he's being slowed down there by the Warlock. Now just look at that. Eul Scepter activated, or maybe not a Eul Scepter, but one of those tricks by the Brewmaster, which does work. Jetlo goes down as well. Blaze getting chased upon there by Hook Kid. The Germinate attacks are doing the damage. This could be the momentum needed, but apparently 6 is surrounded here by 3 heroes. 6 will go down anytime soon. He does go down. Justice, will he overextend? He's forced to retreat, trying to run away. Let's see what he can do. The Haste Rune doing damage. Justice, what he can do? Burrow Stride set. He doesn't have an epicenter yet. He's trying to let the Caustic Finale do the damage. He gets caught by those Scarabs. But will those multiple Scarabs do? He's actually stalking on the hard carry. He does get a kill on Alexa Bliss, but here comes the Fiend's Grip activated. Hook shot there by Hook Kid. Apparently, it only hits on the target, which isn't supposed to happen. But here comes Blaze on the counter attack. Kor Koncept, they got the momentum, but in return, they lose the momentum because of the fact that someone from Xiong was able to surprise them, and it's not other than the Warlock.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I mean, here's the thing. The good thing about what Xiong did was that they did not lose the objective, which is this. And they're able to get, even though it was looking like a disaster for them in that early skirmish, as Mirai finds an easy target. It's Moonlader. Let's see what happens here. Snowball in. Let's see what Moonlader can do. That's two heroes caught in the snowball. Moonlader get pressured on. Oh, Justice gets caught by that Dismember. But will it be enough though? Moonlader slowed down. Mirai might go down anytime soon. He does go down, but the Warlock Golems, Jetlow's ultimate. Did it find a target? Apparently, it does find a target, but he doesn't have a lot of firepower needed, as Jetlow might go down anytime soon, especially from the German attack from Hukid. Hukid goes for the Shikuchi, gets a kill on Jetlow. Blaze next on the target list. Blaze doesn't have a lot of mana, doesn't even have a lot of HP. Goes down, Alexa Bliss gets the kill. Oh, that's gonna be momentum on the side of Kor Koncept, and that's what they desperately need. It was looking like the net worth was all in favor of Xiong+4. Right now, Hukid is knocking on the doorstep together with Alexa Bliss. So that's a good skirmish in favor of Kor Koncept. And like what I said early on, the current meta changes are actually affecting this sort of match.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But in return, they lose a tier 1 tower in the top lane. So yeah, they're able to secure that victory in that skirmish, but losing the objective, okay, that's another story, and that's one thing Kor Koncept has to learn. Yeah, they could go on the offensive, especially if they have 5 people grouped together early in the game, which is what I'm seeing right now. But while that's happening, they're losing the towers. So that's another cause for concern for Kor Koncept, and that's one thing you have to do. Like, you really have to question yourself, is it really worth the time to go 5-on-1 against the tower as we stick around, or should we try to rotate as right now, which is what I'm seeing, and so far they get a kill on 6, and that's a huge kill, because if you look at it, 6's net worth is actually spark plugging and just off the charts as of this moment. Oh, there, Boros Strike and the poison as well on Alexa Bliss. He does activate his ultimate. The Eye of the Storm is set. Static Link as well. The Nightmare! But no, it's not going to be enough though. Hookshot misses there by Moonlader. Moonlader actually hitting with all... Oh my goodness gracious! Epicenter combination together with the Golem Warlocks. Holy smokeroni, this could be Xiong+4's momentum boost. The tier 2 tower is going to be under siege here in the bottom lane, and things are not looking good for Kor Koncept. Initially, it was looking like, yeah, this momentum, but no, they couldn't secure the objectives, and they're going to lose a tier 2 tower as well. Okay, so Xiong+4 said, okay, we know that Kor Koncept is going to group up and play very aggressive now that they're grouping up. So here's what we do. We're going to position ourselves, we're going to rotate around and position ourselves, thinking that Kor Koncept is going to be attacking the bait, which apparently they did. They did attack the bait and they paid the price. They didn't know was that Xiong did rotate, and here comes the firepower, which is what's happening right now, as you can see there. The poison damage from Jetl doing a lot of damage. Hukid with a Germinate attack. This could be the counter attack needed. This member set gets a kill there on Sand King. Nemesis about to go down, but apparently he lives. He's a low in HP. Okay, he's gonna live on. But still, even if Kor Koncept gets these victories and skirmishes, they're losing the objectives. It's just, look at that. Xiong+4 was like, okay, Kor, you could get the wins, you could get the 5-5 victories, or 5-3 victories to be specific, but here's the thing, we're gonna go for a split push. Let's see if you can handle this. So if you look at it, even if they get the kills on these battles, on these miniature battles, the fact is they're losing the objectives, and this is a bit alarming if you're Kor Koncept. Like, you have to do something about this. Rotating, yeah, that's going to be very important. Like, you should really learn how to rotate individually or by twos, but here's the thing. Kor Koncept, they know they can't beat Xiong+4 in a 5-5 assault. They can beat them in a 5-3 or in a 5-4, but right now you can see the Weaver dead and Justice getting that kill there. But the fact is that if they win 5-3s, they're giving space for Xiong to go and split pushes, and oh my goodness, that's like a nightmare. they can't win one-on-one if you're Core Concept. Given what I've seen in the series, Xiong is just like, yeah, you challenge us one-on-one. Look, we got a surprise for you. Poof, you got caught by the surprise, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Because Venom Monster's going to go for Sanj and Yash next item, so it complements the poison damage as well. The poison sting together with the Sanj and Yash. Okay, yeah, that's going to be like a nightmare for Core Concept because you're going to get slowed upon, you're going to get further slowed upon. And add the fact that the damage caused by that Sanj and Yash, as you can see, it's a plus 34 and the smoke gank is already set by Xiong+4. They're finding targets. They know that they're susceptible to Core Concept trying to stick together as a team, playing some squad goals. But right now, Core Concept likewise doing the same. They know that they're susceptible to the split push, but instead, yeah, they spot 6, but look what's happening. Surprise! We got a surprise for you. You get a kill on 6. It doesn't really seem to matter, especially knowing that we got our ultimate set, and that's what you want to see. The ultimates are actually doing it, particularly from Jetlul, and Jetlul does live on. And a Burrow Strike activated there, but Jetlul does go down. And Moon later, trying to protect his teammate. But still, will it be enough though? Blaze set the ultimate, and this could be the sort of counter initiation play needed, but this could be the demise of Xiong+4. I think they've overextended in this sort of assault. And so far, that's a good exchange by Core Concept. I'm surprised about that. It was looking like they were going to get caught because of the surprise factor from the back lines, but you know, with 6 gone, it limits the overall team play of Xiong+4. Because you know that the Brewmaster is really good at team play because of the fact that he could slow you down. But right now, with the Brewmaster gone, then that limits the team play options for the side of Xiong+4. So Core Concept capitalized on that. And so far, this is the sort of game that I've been waiting to see Core Concept execute. I mean, they're still losing the objectives, but they have yet to take an objective. That's the sad thing, but this is much more better for Core Concept than they did in the previous games. But as what I've learned in Dota is that if you can't get the objectives, even though you got momentum in terms of kills, although it's not an absolute momentum for Core Concept, you're still not winning the game. I mean, just look at that. The vision game, even in the favor of Xiong+4. Just look at the warding. You're just dominating the space on Core Concept's map. Just look at it. There's so many wards in this area. And if you look at Core Concept, yeah, they do have wards in their area as well. But so far, it's still not going to be enough to... they could easily pick off some targets. Like what I said in the drafting phase, Core Concept could individually pick off targets with this composition that they possess. But apparently, if you look at it, Xiong+4, you know, they're very calm, they're very composed. It doesn't really seem to matter if they could individually pick off targets. As Moon later. Hook shot there. Justice says, okay, I just got a surprise factor, and that's by Burrow Strike. And let's see if you can run away. Snowball and Moon later. Apparently, the snowball misses. And another... Okay, so Core Concept trying to go offensive there, but they knew they couldn't contain it. But right now, you can see a death of Jetlul. That's going to be a sort of momentum boost needed, but EZG will pay his life. Nightmare activated, and he does go down. Of course, the 3 pandas are doing the job. No, actually, not 3 pandas, but I don't know what those creatures are. Bears? Yeah, it's a bear, but still, 6 is going to get surrounded here. That's 4 heroes. Now Justice trying to go for the bow strike. I think, you know, I don't like this sort of a play here by Xiong+4. They're playing very... I don't want to say this, but they're playing very sloppy as of the moment. Like, this isn't the Xiong+4 that I know. I'm not sure if they're trying to make the series interesting, but you do want... This is the grand finals. Like, you do want to win, but so far I'm seeing a lot of sloppy moments for Xiong+4. Like, they're trying to separate themselves. They're trying to go for a split push, but then here comes Core Concept with the rotation, and they get picked off. So... this is very on-Xiong that I'm seeing for Xiong+4 right now. Like, the patience is gone. It's just that when they feel like they want to go aggressive, they go aggressive. And that's one thing you don't like to do, especially with the current 7.11 Dota patch happening right now. Okay, so let's see. Item check Mirai already with Urn of Shadows. Now 6 has a Radiance and a Blink Dagger, so that gives him more options to do some damage, especially in team fights. Then the Blink Dagger, it could surprise you anytime. It could catch you off guard. And also gives him some farming prowess as well. So you could easily get that Mantis style, which is needed to go for a pushing strategy. Because Xiong+4 is going to rely on this pushing strategy a lot. And right now you can see Kor Koncept in desperation mode. They're going to group themselves up. They're going to destroy this tier 2 tower here in the mid lane. Actually, tier 1, apparently. I mean, they need to take an objective. They have yet to take an objective. And let's see if they could capitalize on this. And they're spying on targets. They find Blaze. He gets caught. And right now, they're going to go aggressive on Mirai. Mirai, not in a good spot here. He's going to get surrounded. There is a Fiend's Grip. Oh, this is going to be the death of Mirai. Mirai's death is imminent, and it forces Xiong+4 to rotate here in the mid lane. Hu Kid has the double damage rune. The question is, will it be enough though? Epicenter activated by Justice. He does find one target, but it's not going to be enough. The damage is not going to be enough. Hu Kid with that double damage rune through the back lines does get some decent kills there. And let's see if he can get some additional kills. He does have the Linkage Sphere, but he's going to get caught there by Jet.Lul. I mean, not Jet.Lul, but by 6. But this could be a sort of disaster needed on the side of Xiong+4, which is happening right now. And Justice gets caught, goes for the 4 staff, runs away. He has the Shrine. It's 3 down on the side of Xiong+4. They're losing an edge in this game. And right now, Justice trying to go for a Border Strike. But so far, yeah, this is very sloppy on the side of Xiong+4. This is one thing you should always avoid at all costs.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kor Koncept, you know, they're capitalizing on this. They could make a furious comeback here if you're Kor Koncept. So if you're Xiong+4, you have to be cautious. There's a comeback happening. Now, Razor, on the other hand, if you look at his item list, he's not really going on for offensive items. He's really going for defensive items. You see a pipe, you see a 4 staff. And so far, I don't really have a problem with it, because the fact is that Kor Koncept is winning the skirmishes, and they're able to keep Alexa Bliss still intact. I mean, it was looking like in the previous skirmishes that he's gonna suffer, but instead he apparently lives on, and it's all because of these escape items, which makes him very difficult to target. And he can also go very aggressive with these escape items, particularly the 4 staff. It makes him say, okay, I guess I can try to attack on and break through your lines, which is what's happening in this game. He also has a Pipe of Insight as well. So it gives him more survivability against some magical damage on the side of Xiong+4. Which is, if you look at Xiong+4's composition, which they have from Jet.Lul as well as Blaze. Oh, don't forget Justice as well. So you want to contain that sort of a magical barrage that Xiong+4 possesses. And as long as you contain that, then you're doing fine. And don't forget, Mirai also has a Walrus Uppercut as well. So it's still, the magical damage is going to be negated with that Pipe of Insight. So it's a good investment for the Razor, as much as we all know that the Razor is heavily dependent on right-click items like a Dragon Lance, which is, I think, what he's building right now, a Dragon Lance, or items like a Black King Bar. And of course Sanjin Yash as well, which is very common for Razor. But in this game, he's going very defensive. For the sake of the team, yeah, that's what you want to see. Although my concern is that if the Razor just relies a lot of defensive items, then he wouldn't get the right-click damage items needed. Although, to be honest, we do want to see a balance of protection from the Razor, because Razor, if you look at it, doesn't have some blinking abilities unless he has a Blink Dagger. So, yeah, it does make sense to go for defensive items, as right now you can see Justice going for the Border Strike, going for the 4 staff as well to make sure he does survive. But the tier 2 tower here in the mid lane is about to go down. If it goes down, and that space created, hook shot apparently misses, so Mirai just capitalizing on those flaws there. But actually he didn't just capitalize on it, instead it was an absolute, let's say it's a lucky break on the side of both Xiong+4 and Kor Koncept. And my goodness, the split push is actually doing wonders for Xiong+4. It's just that the clashes is what's killing them. So As you can see, I mean, a better outing for Core Concept. They're able to limit the net worth to 5k compared to the previous match, which is around, I think, 20k. So the fact that they're able to limit Xiong+4's overall productivity is a good sign for Core Concept. You could also argue that this is Xiong+4 being very overconfident. Yeah, which could be an explanation for this. I mean, if you look at it, the roles have rotated, but right now, here comes Mirai through the backlines, hook shot activated. Let's see, oh, the golem is out and is doing damage there on Moon Later. Actually, if you look at Xiong, they're all targeting on Moon Later. I mean, there are other decent targets they should target, as Nemesis is able to protect himself, but no, apparently it doesn't really work. Oh dear, the Yule Scepter together with the Epicenter is not a good combination here on the side of Xiong+4, and Xiong+4 might suffer for this. Justice does go down, so it's a 4-man death sentence on the side of Xiong+4, and not a good spot. I think the biggest mistake here by Xiong+4 is that all the targets were for Pudge, but if you look at the flesh heap level, it's at its highest peak. So yeah, the 5-man wipeout there on Xiong+4, it's really eminent. The fact that they're targeting the Pudge, when in fact he's very tanky to magical damage, especially given Xiong+4 the fact that they rely a lot on burst magical damage. Yeah, this is a better outing from the Pudge than in game number 2. So I'm really liking that the fact that Moon Later has really adjusted to the game plan of Xiong+4. So they're now making the series interesting. Yes, they're losing the objectives, but right now they're regaining the objectives as well. So it could be a potential comeback and a potential game number 4 for the side of Core Concept. Okay, snowball in, and that's a good target. A snowball there. That's your Mirai with a Walrus uppercut punch, but of course the damage from Jetlul doing a lot. But of course the Pipe of Insight is activated. This could be the sort of counter-initiation play needed, but no, gets caught by the Dismember as well as a Fiend's Creep. It's none other than the Sand King, and with this death imminent, it could be the more sort of disaster on the side of Xiong+4. Xiong+4 very desperate. I don't know why they went very aggressive out of this moment. Yeah, you do need to get the kills, but so far the desperation attempts are not really working wonders, as Hookit is going to get surrounded here. If he goes down, that's going to be huge because he's leading the net worth charts. That is not good for Xiong+4. I think, yeah, this is like another source of overextension. And if they suffer with this, this is not a good spot. And right now, Moon Later gets stunned upon. If they get a kill on Moon Later, which does happen, Moon Later goes down. Although the ideal target would be the Weaver. Look who's next on the list. It's EZG. Yeah, Hookit is the ideal target, and EZG goes down. So Xiong+4 getting some revenge kills after that horrendous initial approach. But it's still not looking at their favor in terms of that clash. Okay, so 6 is trying to get that Manta style. So what Xiong+4 needs to do right now, one, they need to farm up, get items. Yeah, you got Venomancer at Sanjin Yash, but I think Venomancer should go for Lincoln Sphere, because the fact that he's easily susceptible to this barrage here by Core Concept. Although yeah, you do want to get a Sanjin Yash, but you also need to play very defensive given the composition of Core Concept. So I think if you're Xiong+4, yeah, that's one thing you need to do. You need to save for defensive items like a Lincoln Sphere, because it could potentially help you in team fights against Core Concept, especially in the late game. And right now, the Brewmaster 6 has a Manta style, so this could be some split push options on the side of Xiong+4, which is what I'm seeing right now on the side of 6. Okay, so the Hurricane Pike is set for Alexa Bliss, and yeah, it could really help him a lot in surviving. So Xiong+4 very cautious in terms of pushing the lanes. They know that they're susceptible to Core Concept grouping up together, which is what's happening here in game number 3. So we see the return of Core Concept. Oh dear, Walrus uppercut punch, Epicenter, Snowball in, Dismember out, Eye Shards out. Here's a Frozen Sigil. Will Justice go down? Fiend's Grip though, catches Justice, poison damage is set. Jetlul forced to activate the ultimate. Remember, he has a Pipe of Insight, so even if that Poison Nova is there, it's still not going to do enough. But apparently, Blaze has brought some backup here together with his partner in crime, which is none other than Six. If they get a kill on Razor, that's going to be huge. And he goes down. And now Who Kid, will he overextend in here? Remember, the current meta changes says if you try to overextend and your cores go down, it's not a good sign. Now Blaze trying to defend himself. Now if they get a kill on Who Kid, that's going to be a momentum boost on the side of Xiong+4. Now they get a kill on Nemesis. So it's a 4-on-3 exchange in favor of Xiong+4. And this could be the momentum needed to push through the lanes. And just look at that. The tier 3 tower in the mid lane is dead. So the net worth back in favor of Xiong. And right now, they're going to knock through the tier 3 tower in the top lane. Kor Koncept forced to go into buyback. Their season is up on the line. They certainly would not like to embarrass themselves in a 3-0 sweep, so they're forced to force their buybacks in. They want to get that victory. Okay, so let's see. Six. Okay, he does have a Mantle Cell. Oh, Basher. He's going to go for Abyssal Blade. So, ironically, the Brewmaster, who is oftentimes getting picked off in team fights, still getting these items. So, there's a big irony. And it could help them in the late game. So you have to give credit to Xiong+4 for being very patient. Although the one thing you want to know is that the Venomancer has a Lincoln Sphere. So Jetlul with that Lincoln Sphere, it could be a clutch moment for Xiong+4 to secure this series. Yeah, I think Xiong+4 really can win the late game. And if he gets that Orchid of Malevolence going for a Bloodthorn, then Kor Koncept will be like, oh god. Now that is something I don't want to deal with. And you can see the Poison Nova already set. So we could see Xiong+4 going to high ground push. Although I think they should go for a Roche. But if you look at it, the warding of Kor Koncept to make sure that the Roche pit is secured is finally happening. I mean, in games number 1 and 2, you did not see that. Although they tried to defend the Roche pit, but it would lead to an absolute disaster. As Who Kid? Okay, this is a good target. It's a good target indeed. If they get a kill there, he gets poisoned upon. Will the time lapse be activated? Does they're activated? The EKB's out. Let's see. He's gonna run away. No, the hook shot misses. Who Kid trying to run further away. You'd better run, because certainly you do not like to surrender this net worth advantage, because you could be a difference maker, especially in the late game. So now Kor Koncept. Okay, so let's see. They're going to push through that Roche pit. Now Mirai, he's already providing intel for the team. But remember, Kor Koncept has the vision advantage. So Mirai, oh, he sees something happening in here. So Kor Koncept are aware indeed that the Roche pit is under siege. But in return, Xiong+4, they're also aware as well. Now this could be the clutch moment needed. Blaze trying to distract members of Kor Koncept. Will they get that Aegis? Yes, they get that Aegis. Oh dear. Of course, they tried to go for an Aegis steal, and things are not looking good for Kor Koncept, especially when those ultimates are set there by Justice, by the Venomancer, and by the Sand King as well. I mean, not the Sand King, by Jetlul. Okay, Jetlul, Justice, and obviously Blaze. Yeah, it's not a good timing. I mean, they tried to go for a swap to steal that Aegis, but apparently it's not really working. And now this is not good for Who Kid. Who Kid forced to activate the BKB. Who Kid, can he run away? He does run away, but it's 4 down on the side of Xiong+4. Let's see. Jetlul trying to make things happen. Okay, that's already 3 down. It's a 5-man wipe on Xiong+4. Even if they secure the Roche pit, it still wasn't enough. They couldn't stop Who Kid. Yeah, let's look at the kills, deaths, and assists. And Who Kid only died twice in this game, so he is leading this game so far. Well, things are not looking good for Xiong+4 as of this moment. It was looking like the Roche pit was at their favor. Yeah, they realized that the Roche assault was just a waste. I mean, Who Kid is really, he's really fed up. He got the movement speed. And if you look at what happened in the drafting phase, Kor Koncept banned heroes like Invoker, banned heroes like Storm Spirit. These are heroes that will negate mobility of Kor Koncept. If you look at it, Who Kid has that mobility, which none on the side of Xiong+4 has. I mean, yeah, you do have some blinks with a Sand King. Yeah, you do have a snowball from the Tusk. It's not going to be enough, though. I mean, if you look at it in game number 2, I mean, if you look, Xiong+4 has like some counter mobility with a Kunkka. And with that counter mobility, they were able to get some decent pickoffs. Or wait, I'm saying it wrong. Okay, I take it back. I mean, if you look at what happened in game number 2, Kunkka was actually part of Kor Koncept's arsenal. As right now you can see here, Moon later doing the hook shot, together with that dismember, together with EZG, doing the damage needed. So things are not looking good for Xiong+4, although surprisingly they still have an upper hand in terms of net worth, but it's still relatively low. It's still showing signs that it can be any man's game. So Kor Koncept showing signs of life, and if they lose this game, but they lose a shrine, so it could be a difference maker later in the game if ever there's a 5-on-5 assault in this area. And without that shrine, it could knock space for them. And it also limits the sort of visibility, map control on the side of Kor Koncept. So it goes down as well. So right now, Kor Koncept, yeah, they know that they got momentum. They got the items needed. They got the BKBs. They got the Pipe of Insights. And if you look at Pudge, he has a Heart of Tarask. Take note, a Heart of Tarask together with a Flesh Heap. That's a bit tricky if you're Xiong+4. So yeah, they've really adapted to the tactics. They know that Justice is stalking through. And Justice is what Kor Koncept loves to do. They like to stalk through the tree lines. And if you look at it, Kor Koncept very cautious. You know, they know that the tree lines are going to make them look susceptible. As right now, Burrow Strike activated, trying to stop the team fight though. And let's see if it's really going to work wonders. Although I think it's an early Burrow Strike by Justice. I think he should have waited for Pudge to TP out, and then when he TPs out, then he goes on the offensive on other members of Kor Koncept, especially knowing that the epicenter is activated. Burrow Strike as well, together with the ultimate by the Warlock. Oh my goodness gracious, Jet will activate that Poison Nova as well. Oh, this is going to be an absolute masterpiece of Maestro on the side of Xiong+4, but still the sort of AoE damage is actually doing wonders for Xiong+4. They did get a kill there on Sand King, but let's see if it's going to be enough. EZG next to the target list. That's 3 down on Kor Koncept. And boy, that's careless on the side of Kor Koncept. Like seriously, they had momentum. It's just that I was thinking they're aware of Mirai's positioning, and all of a sudden they went into the same mistakes in game number 1 and game number 2. They get caught by Mirai. They get a hook shot. It was momentum. And then here comes Mirai. Ultimate set. Epicenter. Out. And then here comes Blaze. Here comes the Golems. Doing the job. Now Pudge forced to activate the buyback. Another waste of money. Although he has to waste his money, because right now the finals is on the line on the side of Kor Koncept. And just look at that. The Rax is just going to get under siege. The Poison Plague Wards as well as the Manta Illusions are just wrecking havoc through the Rax. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's just a fake there. It was just an absolute fake around there. Jet Lul. Oh, he's not going to get hooked upon Jet Lul. And Moon later will certainly. Was having a pretty decent game so far. I mean, the sad thing about Kor Koncept is that they really played well in this game. And the thing is, Hook Kid, you know, he's unkillable as of this moment. So if they lose to this game, it's really heartbreaking for Kor Koncept, because my goodness, they've really shaken Xiong+4's brains as of this moment. Xiong+4 looking like we got momentum in game number 1 and game number 2. I guess there's room for complacency, and then only to find out, okay, complacency does not exist really in Dota, especially knowing that Kor Koncept could make something miraculous happen, which is what I'm seeing right now for Kor Koncept. Yeah, they're making this into a series finally. The Kor Koncept has revealed Xiong+4's major weakness, and that's to stick as a team and try to dominate the laning phase by sticking as a team. So they're trying to force Xiong+4 to rotate, as we see a pause by 6. So they're trying to force they're forcing Xiong+4 to play defensive, which you don't normally see, because Xiong+4 likes to play very offensive. And if they try to play offensive, they're susceptible to the damage outburst from Kor Koncept. Kor Koncept could control you with a Bane. They could control you with a Vengeful. Pudge as well could control you. So finally, the thing that I've been wanting to see in game number 1 for Kor Koncept, maximizing the control, is happening here in game number 3. Okay, so we're gonna wait for some unpause to happen. Now let's see, look some quick item check. So the Lotus Orb and that Echo Shell. Okay, so this is gonna be crucial on the side of Xiong+4, because if you look at it, Kor Koncept, they could do some magical damage as well, but with that Echo Shell, it could really help them, you know, negate the effects of the Dismember, even negate the effects of the Fiend's Grip as well. So with that Lotus Orb, it's going to be very, very helpful on the side of Xiong+4. Venom Monster, he's going to get a Lincoln Sphere, going to go for a Butterfly. He's not going to be easy to be hit if he gets a Butterfly. And Who Kid, my goodness, this guy deserves a medal in this game. I mean, he's really making things very horrendous on the side of Xiong+4 right now. Gonna go for a Monkey King Bar as his next item, which makes him more frightening to deal with. If that Monkey King Bar, this is gonna be nasty. Then let's see, Pudge. Not sure if Pudge is gonna go with Butterfly. Okay, he's gonna go for a Boot of Travel, and then Eagle Song. It's possible he's gonna go for a Butterfly, which makes him very difficult to hit, because you got a third skill further maximized. Got a Heart of Tarask. You could escape with a Blink Dagger. You can use a Dismember as a defensive weapon. So it's possible that Kor Koncept could easily use those items for Pudge's favor. Now Xiong, they're going to knock through the tier 3 tower here in the bottom lane. They secured the racks in the tier 3 tower in the mid lane. But I mean, look at that. That Lotus Orb is just really intimidating Kor Koncept to go on the offensive. So it's a good investment there on the side of Xiong+4. Just look at that, minus 220 damage. So yeah, if you look at it, you got a static link, you got enfeebled damage, so your right click options for Xiong+4 are heavily negated. Particularly 6. 6 is like the main right click option guy, together with Venomancer and the Golem army from Blaze. So with those abilities, the enfeeble and the static link, so you wouldn't have some sort of right click assaults because of those effects. So let's see, with Jetlo, Butterfly, Sanjin, Yash, and the Lincoln Sphere. And of course that Butterfly, it could really help him, but my concern is the lack of right click damage because of what Razor's been doing. Static Link, hook shot there. Apparently it's just an illusion by 6, but look who gets caught. Oh, Nemesis, well surrounded, but here comes the reinforcements on the side of Kor Koncept. This could be the last stand for Kor Koncept. They have to maximize this Brawl Assault. Right now, Nemesis gets caught. He goes down. Nemesis is down. Opening set. EZG. Next on the target list. Forced to activate the Lotus Orb. Gets stunned upon. Rai trying to chase him on. Who Kid trying to defend. Trying to assault the back lines. If Who Kid goes dead, that's huge. That is huge for Xiong+4. Moon later. Next on the list. The timing is set. Justice says, I've given you a hammer right through your face. No sickle to defend yourself. And oh dear, buyback here by EZG. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my. With Who Kid dead, this could be momentum swing in favor of Xiong+4. Alright, let's look at that fight recap and what happened in there. And oh my goodness, it's the timing of abilities on the side of Xiong+4 that really paid dividends there. They went to Nemesis with Nemesis gone. That could be the momentum boost on the side of Xiong+4, and right now they're going to go on the offensive. This could be the last stand for Kor Koncept in the best of 5 finals. Their series is on the line in here. They play better here. This is a heartbreaking defeat if they lose this. And right now the Rax is dead. 6 doesn't really seem to care what's happening. BKB out there on the Weaver. Will Who Kid survive through it? He does survive. They lost the Rax here. They lost the Rax here as well. And now they're aiming for the tier 3 tower here in the top lane. And Xiong+4 is just really wrecking apart in here. Look at the Rax is going to go down anytime soon here. And oh my goodness, they're trying to defend this. They're trying to defend this. Blaze is going to get assaulted. Justice is invisible. Now Storm, one of Brewmaster's minions trying to slow things down. And a counter initiation set. Oh, this could be the sort of momentum needed. Already the action is happening, but who cares? Especially knowing that 6 has already helped the team secure the Mega Creeps. Easy G getting assaulted, forced to activate the Lotus Orb. He's gonna get slowed down here by 6. He's gonna get stunned upon. Oh, he's gonna get turned to fried chicken. Let's see. Kor Koncept. The finals is on the line. The finals is on the line. The crown must win, must always win. And let's see if they can defend the crown now that the tier 4s are under siege. They're actually gonna make a last stand in this. They don't have buybacks if you're Kor Koncept. They're doing everything at their arsenal. They get 3 kills already, but in return, Xiong+4 have already gotten 3 kills as well. Now, Justice might be the 4th casualty, which he is, and the Gem of True Sight is there. But right now, Moonlader is going to get caught. He's going to be the next casualty on the list. He is the next casualty on the list. And right now, the tier 4 is under siege. Kor Koncept trying to make history happen to come back from this. But apparently, the comeback is not real. It is not legitimate. And I'm just shaking my camera from the top to the bottom. And right now, the tier 4 is under siege. The crown is under siege. The crown is under siege. Will we see an evil genius miraculous comeback here? Apparently, the answer looks like no. Or is it? Okay, they can see here. Okay, they can see. Oh, Kor Koncept have already admitted terms of surrender, and Xiong+4 have swept the series. They are now your Echo League Season 3 champions in the Southeast Asian region, particularly Group A, and they rightfully deserve it. My goodness, this is a hard-fought win for Xiong+4. You have to give credit for Kor Koncept that they've learned from their mistakes in games number 1 and 2. It's just that they couldn't finish the potential comeback, and Xiong+4 are certainly celebrating right now as at this moment. So anyway, now that the series is set and Xiong+4 are indeed champions, that's all for today. This is Kenzie Wonderdrift, and I'm currently going to sign off. So I'll see you next time whenever I'm live. So goodbye, have a great night. And for Xiong+4, congratulations for this well-deserved victory. Indeed, the road you took is indeed a road that you rightfully led to glory and victory. Goodbye.